Hello, it is October 15th, and welcome to tonight's weather report. And before I get started, as I hinted to, I'm making changes. I'm not doing these updates every day anymore. They're going to be done maybe several times a week, depending on the weather conditions, and that's it. But as you see today, and we're going to call it weather report instead, all right? So we're talking about the week ahead and what we have. Unfortunately, more rain again for next weekend. But you can see here, there is your storm right there off to the right there. Really just kind of bombing out there as it moves away. You can see we had some sun mixed with a good deal of stratocumulus cloudiness today as well. So, yep, there's your storm right there pulling away as it goes away. So we'll show you what the skies look like. Well, before you that, we'll look at this satellite image as well, and you can see pretty intense storm. Look at that convection going offshore there. Again, it's over that warm water, getting some energy there. May have been some thunderstorms out over there as well. I'm going to look at some of the buoys and see what kind of reports they got. But this looks pretty intense. But for us, we just had the cloud cover. We had, again, it looked like it was sunny for a little bit, and then the clouds kind of came in and, stuck around. So skies pretty much look like this today. We had a lot of these clouds around. You can see a lot of these big stratocumulus clouds around during the day today. So that's pretty much what it looked like. So couldn't really get too much sunshine, but we did. Was in Massapequa to look. Yeah, we did. We actually have some color coming out there as well, though it wasn't easy to capture because of the cloud cover. Had to use some special HDR modes to bring it out a little more at sometimes. But you can see here definitely some colors starting. So the good news is we have a dry week ahead to enjoy it, and hopefully more sunshine as well. So let's go look at our weather, our map. You can see not too much going on across the country. We'll go ahead and look at what our current conditions are right now. And you can see here 52 at Islip, 2.43. The winds have come down a little bit. They were stronger earlier. We had some pretty gusty, breezy conditions earlier in the day. So we go earlier. You can see that you had those gustier winds. They were a little more from the northwest. Again, very cool today. Cool temperatures again today for the day. So yeah, I do want to look and see if any of these buoys near the storm here. Yeah, this is near the storm, so let's see. This one particular, let's see what their peak wind gust was. 42 miles an hour at that buoy. This was close to the storm here. We're going to see how the wave heights got affected too, because there are no wave heights being reported. But you could see some of these wind gusts here. Yeah, pretty storm, pretty windy conditions here at this buoy here. But it looks like the center of the storm was a little more to the south of that buoy. We can look at this one too as well. What was their max gust? 40 miles an hour. Nothing crazy. Wave height being reported at 8.2 feet. But yeah, pretty strong storm for sure. As it moved out over the ocean, it definitely got a lot stronger. So anyway, it's out of here. We're not going to have to deal with it. High temperatures only. It's around 63, it looks like, for most areas, right around 63 degrees for most everywhere for your highs. And the lows, not a whole lot of radiational cooling. West Hampton managed to reach 39 this morning, I guess, but most everyone had 40s to around 50. And we'll go look at the precipitation from our storm here. And let's see. It's been raining. We'll do a 48-hour precipitation, I guess, to show you how much rain fell. Nothing really crazy. Really wasn't a heavy rainfall across the area. It just was a miserable, slow rainfall. I do see a 1.19. It seems like maybe some of the areas of Jersey Shore got a little more, but other than that, not that much. We do have a coastal flood statement in effect for Monday morning. I'm guessing because of the tides and because of the winds and that storm that's offshore, that we'd have that coastal flood statement. We'll go over our statistics for today. This is a feature that I'm not going to be doing unless there's something really remarkable. I'm not going to be doing this every time. 62 is the high. Normal high is 64, so 2 degrees below normal. Fairly close to normal for this time of year. Central Park, a little more below normal there. No surprise. That site is always below normal. It gets to the point where I don't even want to look at it. It's because of all the vegetation they have. A little bit below normal at JFK, but nothing too remarkable there. So, looking at our weather map here, and we're gonna first start with the upper air, and let's go to the upper air. So you can see there's that trough that we have in the east. That's going to bring in the cooler weather. You can see it's kind of keeps us a little bit of an unstable flow, which is why we have the clouds. Though ridging should develop as we get toward Thursday, which will mean Wednesday, which will bring milder conditions. And here comes the next trough. This is going to spawn the next soaker for next Saturday. This one's going to be a little different, as it's where we're going to be on the right side of the storm. So it'll be in some of the heavier rain, I think. And then behind that, that's when we're going to start seeing some troughing and some colder air coming in to the east. We can look at the European as well. I'll look at the 12s of European. And you can see similar type of thing. You see how the jet stream, the upper flow is kind of not quite straight out of Canada, which is where we're going to have some clouds, I guess, tomorrow, especially Tuesday. But then less clouds for Wednesday and Thursday, and then here comes your next storm again. And the Euro is much different with this. It's much deeper with the trough. Look at it; it takes it all the way down to Florida. This weird narrow trough, and this is a very intense storm that would develop along this front, bringing us a real soaker with possible LLJ type conditions, low level jet from the tropics, and that could be some very heavy rain. And then European doesn't look quite as cold as the GFS for the following week. We'll look at the anomalies and all of this stuff. So let's go to the 500. So there's the trough you see in the east. All right, kind of lifts out, get a little ridging in, and then here comes the next trough. All right. I'm guessing this is shorn over here. No, that's not going to be an issue. It's going to go out to sea. I think it's depression now, but maybe they have it re-intensifying. We'll go ahead and we'll look at some of the tropical models as well with this. But you'll see here, there's your trough for next weekend. And I don't see any really huge. I mean, yeah, I guess it would cool off, but then I see ridging behind that, so I don't know. It just shows some signs of some colder weather. But we're getting some of that colder weather now. So let's look at the European. You can see European is totally different with the second trough. Yeah, it's very different. It digs it deeper and then it has a little ridging. So I don't know. It has maybe a cool down behind the storm, but it won't last. We'll have ridging. There's a trough in the west, so I don't really see that much of a cool down behind it. But let's go to our temperature anomaly chart. We'll first start with the European. All right, so going through here, you'll see below normal this week. Again, upside down pattern. Above normal in Canada, upside down pattern. And then we will have above normal with that. It'll be a warm rain with that system there. And then behind it, not really showing that much cooler air behind it at all. GFS is a little different. So if you look at the GFS, you'll see it's showing more of a cool down behind it than the European. So a little bit of a difference, but again, and then another cool down there. I have a tendency to believe the GFS, obviously, at this point. But, we do have those temperature anomalies in Canada still ongoing. So let's go to the surface now. I'll move this back down to the CONUS view, and we'll look at the surface view on the GFS. So obviously this week, you can see we have that little instability trough in the air. There was a high, getting nice clear skies in the center of the country, but we'll have to push this out of the way. I think for Wednesday we'll finally get most of it out of the way, and then Thursday we'll have a mild day with again southwesterly winds. That would probably be the mild day, and then see, because of the way that high sets up, that low is going to go to the west of us and get pretty intense, especially as it goes up into upstate New York, brings some more heavy rain there. It's the last thing they need. and then getting colder for Sunday and Monday. And then the high builds in behind that. It would bring us nice weather for the following week. The storm doesn't destroy all the leaves, which we don't know if it will or not. But if we look at the European model, the European's a little different and worse in a lot of ways. So it has another batch of rain moving in on Friday. So we'd get one batch of rain on Friday, and then the storm, it literally redevelops right over us on Saturday night, and then moves out by Sunday. And look at how intense that storm is. So it's a little different with what it looks like. If we look at the rainfall totals, I'll pull this in a little more here for this system. The European soaks us with a lot of areas with 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. GFS, on the other hand, not quite as heavy. So we still have a ways to go before this next system, but it's annoying. Another Saturday where we've got to deal with the soaker. It's ridiculous. How about not having any soakers? How about that? But no, it's just too much to ask for, unfortunately. So let's go to the HRRR model, and we'll go to the short range here, and we'll look at our 0's the HRRR here. Let's do that. So going to the short range, you see that instability there, and it could create a sprinkle or two, maybe over the east end, and then maybe a few more isolated sprinkles or maybe showers popping up in the afternoon tomorrow. And then we have the same thing on Tuesday that's going to happen. You can see in the afternoon. So it's just the instability in the air. If we look at our thing here, our sounding, just waiting to pop it up, you'll see it is instability in the air, and you can see the cloud cover as well being saturated as well. Here's this 19. Now if I roll this back to 16, which is a little earlier in the morning, maybe it's indicating these are pretty close together. So when you see that, it's usually indicating a good deal of cloudiness. You can see those two are very close together. On the HRRR, that's what it's indicating. Tuesday might actually be better. Let's see. Probably the same deal, but yeah, they're pretty close together. A little further apart on Tuesday, but still kind of close together. So this kind of indicates that we're going to have clouds on both days. That neither day is really going to be clear, unfortunately. So let's go to our dew points and wind flows as we go through this week. So dew points, see the northwest flow staying in the pretty dry area. Northwest flow, same thing for Tuesday. North flow on Tuesday. Your air temperatures. Again, tonight's going to be pretty chilly. Lows probably in the 40s. Though as long as the wind keeps blowing, it's probably not going to radiate. We'll have to see what happens. And tomorrow, similar to today, we're going to struggle to reach the low to mid 60s. And then tomorrow night, same deal. We'll drop back again. If the winds drop, then we could have some radiational cooling in 30s, perhaps in some areas again, especially the Pine Barrens. Tuesday, similar deal again. Cool temperatures a little bit below normal. And it's a shame that we're not getting clear sky with that, but again, it's because of that instability in the air. So let's go to the GFS. So go a little further along here and look at our dew points and wind flow. So here's your dew points and wind flow, and here's Wednesday. We got a west winds. That means more warmer air and warmer temperatures. Thursday, west-southwest to southwest winds. And then here comes the moisture as we get into Friday and Saturday. You can see definitely has that moisture feed coming up. And that's going to bring yet another soaker behind it. And then Sunday, we have the westerly winds and much colder air. Here you go into Monday here with the northwest winds. But yeah, it's a lot of, and there's going to be a lot of moisture with this. So if we look at this again, the 700 to 300, look at how dark green this is. This is going to be a soaker. And again, the timing is Friday night into Saturday. Friday night might even be ruined too. But you just see the dry air come in later Saturday. So maybe we get lucky and this thing gets out of here, and at least maybe your latter part of your Saturday will be okay, perhaps. Um, and I don't think the European offers this feature. I don't think the European offers this feature. I'm not going to look at the European because it's been inaccurate lately. It's been overdoing things, and I don't want to use it. I really don't. Um, so let's go to the temperatures. Up this up to. So you'll see, again, that cool pattern. But then as we get into Wednesday, you'll see temperatures go near to above normal. Mid 60s on Long Island, upper 60s in New Jersey. At night, it'll probably still cool down. And then as we go into Thursday, still warmer, perhaps upper 60s to around 70. And then Friday, it'll be just as warm, even though we'll have those clouds increasing. And then you can see how warm it stays on Saturday. And then Sunday, still cooling down there. So then Monday, that's when you see that really big cool down where highs struggle to reach the mid 50s. Same thing for Tuesday. And then we see that moderating trend as we get toward later in the week. All right. So let's look at the skies. And we'll go all the way down to here. So this is the low resolution GFS. You can see the clouds developing during the daytime. Well, same thing for Tuesday. Even Wednesday, it's got clouds popping up over us. And then Thursday, finally have clear skies before the cirrus comes in. And then we're going to be dealing with clouds for a good part of the weekend, probably. Maybe by Sunday we'll start seeing a little less of it. But, again, you see the deal with the instability cloudiness problem that we have. Again, it's constantly been an issue for us. So that is one model, GFS. Let's go to the RGEM, which is our other cloud model, which really kind of underdid the cloudiness today. It was significantly, it was significantly more than what this was showing. Here's tomorrow, and again, it's not really showing that much for tomorrow in the early part of the day, but then by the mid part of the day, a lot of the clouds develop. And then for Tuesday, it's showing also a good deal of cloudiness popping up. Maybe not as much on Tuesday. It seems like it's a little less on Tuesday. That's the RGEM, all right? And this is the RGEM for Wednesday. Also still showing the clouds popping up again. These would be stratocumulus clouds that would be popping up again, all right? And then there's the cirrus right there, so we don't know if we're going to have any clear days at this point. Let's go to the NAM. Skies on the NAM. All right, one more for the skies, I guess. You can see again there. Start off clear, and then it builds up later on in the day. Here we are, 2 o'clock. It starts 3 o'clock, and it really starts building up. But, maybe we can eke out a mostly sunny at least at certain times of the tomorrow. Tuesday, I think it's a little less likely. And then Wednesday, it doesn't go as far enough out. We just have that instability, that moisture. It's not bone dry air. We don't have the subsidence. We're still in that cyclonic flow, so that's why we're seeing that. Lastly, Climate Prediction Center here. 6 to 10 day outlook on temperatures. You can see we're on the edge of a below normal area in the southeast, above normal in the west. 6 to 10 day is below normal. As far as precipitation goes, we're at near normal on the 6 to 10 day, and actually below normal on precipitation on the 8 to 14. You can see near normal, but above normal temperature. So, I guess maybe they think that soaker won't be that bad. I don't know, but that soaker hits like the Europe. We're going to be above normal precipitation, but hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't. A few more things I'm going to show you here. We'll do the Ventus sky here. And just visualize again. We'll go back to earlier today. Just to visualize again what we have. You can see there's that ridging there. You see that ridging. Here's our storm, all right? Here's your storm that's offshore here, all right? Now, there's one other model I forgot to look at, and that's the icon. Oh, man, I forgot to look at it for that storm next week. So let's go to that. And, let's see. All right, it doesn't go far enough out. That's why I didn't look at it. I don't think it goes. Maybe the 12Z goes far enough. Oh, the 12Z does. It's probably going to look like the Euro, and it does look like the Euro. Be a soaker. But it could wrap it up later by Saturday. It is a little faster moving, so we'll have to see. It might be more of a Friday night issue now. Maybe not so much Saturday, but your Friday night's going to get ruined for sure. So, yeah, that's your storm right there. As far as winds go with this storm, We have again. This is what the storm offshore looks like. You can see, um, really intense. But let's move this over to um, Saturday, so you can see the storm here. The 21st. We are looking at the 21st. That doesn't look that bad. Okay. Maybe it's after the storm leaves that would pick up a little more. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. All right, just it just show a very deep low, but for whatever reason, it's not generating that kind of a pressure gradient. Um, the GFS, see if it's the GFS is generating a little more of a pressure gradient with some stronger winds here. 34, but this may be overdone. So we got a week to deal with, worry about it, and right now I'm just not going to be concerned about it. So enjoy the dry week ahead we have before we deal with more of that miserable rain chances coming into the picture Friday or perhaps Saturday. But that is going to wrap this weather report up. Again, no weather report tomorrow, no weather report on Tuesday. Probably won't be a weather report until Thursday or Friday. I'm gonna do these only once or twice a week now, or I'm not doing them every night anymore, unless there's something major going on. I just don't want to do this anymore. It's just, I just don't. All right, I can't handle it anymore. Just too many other things going on in my life to be focused on this. Especially if there's nothing really interesting going on with the weather. If there is, then obviously I'll do it. But if it's just, partly sunny conditions, or sunny conditions, there's no storms or anything, or no extreme temperatures, then there's no reason for me to do this every single damn day, and I don't want to do it every single damn day anymore, and I hope you understand why I can't. So that is it. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.